What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Super Gamer Boys. I am your host and captain, Garrett Morlang, and here in the studio with me is...
His other host, my name is JJ. Guten Tag, everyone. Yeah, in the Super Gamer Boys world.
Sorry, what's your name?
JJ.
Air?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I guess.
We're going to see how this rolls. We're just going to roll with this for a little while.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. At least there's some continuity going on with our little promo that we run on the rest of the HP Video Game Podcast network.
Yeah, so if sometimes you hear the commercials that we are running on as a podcast, it might have a little character work in it, and you might be expecting a little fat German man to be on the show with Garrett. So we're going to go ahead and fulfill those orders by doing so now, here, right before the Christmas season.
Oh, jeez. I just never know what to expect. Last week you had this other character, and I tried to play along with you, and you're like, stop playing. It's me, JJ. What are you, a dummy? So I just never know what to do. You caught me off guard because it's like, should I play along with you, or are you going to make me look like an idiot again?
This is the whole thing. You don't actually need me to make you look like an idiot. This is something that you're doing very well on your own, you know?
Okay. Speaking of HP Video Game Podcast Network.
Who are not idiots.
They're not idiots. Since we mentioned them, we might as well say, hey, shout out to you guys. Thanks for having us as part of the network. And you should go check out some of those other shows if you haven't. You can just type that into iTunes or Apple Podcast, Twitter. I'm trying to think. I almost said YouTube. I don't think they're on YouTube. But yeah, Apple Podcast and Twitter, you can type that in. HP Video Game Podcast Network and find some other shows. But anyways, back to our show.
Right. The shows that nobody is ever talking about.
Yeah, right.
Right.
How's your week been?
Dude, my week has been amazing. I woke up after falling down off of the bed, and then I'm German the rest of the week. So it's been awesome because I feel very dominant in everything I do. What? So it's been a very good week. We had the company Christmas party.
Who hurt you as a child?
So many people with their taunts and all of their hate and discrimination for my profound roundness. Yeah. So pretty much.
Getting a little deep there, a little deep.
Some of them we call mom and dad. Oh, sorry, it hurts. Yeah, no, so it's very good week. We had a company Christmas party. We did this at a bowling alley. So you're putting these things they call pins. They don't even look like pins. They put them up in a line, in a row, right? You're throwing huge balls with holes in them for your fingers to put into. You throw them down to try to knock down the pins, and it is so infuriating because you're always missing the pins, and it goes down to either side. They call this a gutter. They keep telling me I'm throwing the gutter balls the whole time.
I'm sorry. I cannot take anything you say seriously when you talk like that. I have not understood a word you said because I'm so distracted. We need to stop this right now.
So we got to go and have a company Christmas party, and it was amazing. We bowled, and I thought that I was going to do a little bit of like Fred Flintstone-esque type of stuff, man. They call me Twinkle Toes. Well, nobody ever actually called me Twinkle Toes, but if I was a dancing fool, people probably would call me Twinkle Toes.
Okay.
Yeah, so when I bowled, I did not bowl anything like Fred Flintstone, except for I did make, and I don't know if you saw this, I went to go throw the ball, and I literally did that thing where you throw the ball behind you and it lands on the ground. I did that.
Oh, no.
And it almost hit my wife. And it was hilarious. Everybody was laughing except for my wife. She did not find it hilarious.
Yeah, I bet.
She thought it was intentional. She thought I was trying to make a hit in front of everybody, you know? Because that's where you do it.
No. Well, it wasn't just a bowling place, though. They also had an amazing restaurant with incredible food. Mm-hmm. They had a really fun arcade. We played some 4-player arcade games. Mm-hmm. There was a Halo one, a Tomb Raider one. Pretty dope. And then we also played laser tag.
Yeah, we did. And that was awesome. We beat down some teenage, well, they might even have been like middle school kids. I'm not real sure, but we beat them pretty bad.
So they came in and the guy's like, everyone needs to sign a waiver. And everyone's like, we signed a waiver. Well, our group said that.
Right.
And then
because we're adults and we're grown-ups.
He's like, well, I have 5 waivers and there's 9 of you guys.
So the 4 young teenage boys had not signed.
Yeah, finally we and he kept asking who didn't sign a waiver. No one would say anything. Who didn't sign a waiver? No one. So finally he's like, did you guys sign a waiver? And they're like, oh no. It's like, go sign the freaking waiver. So when they left the room, like they asked the group, who was playing laser tag, do you guys want to do teams or do you want to do free for all? And before they had left, I heard them saying they wanted to do teams so they could be on a team together. And I was like, you know what? Since they screwed us over and they're making us wait to play, let's do free for all. Screw those kids. So we did. We did free for all.
So we all outvoted them.
We even voted on it because it was like no one could. It was kind of split decision. So he's like, okay, everyone raise your hand who wants to do free for all. In our whole group, there's 5 of us and only 3 of them. And they're like,
and this was all at Garrett's persistence. So I want all of you to take that story and understand that what Garrett did was he held his boot down on the necks of these young men and held them down like a big bully.
I bullied a bunch of kids, but
it was pretty awesome to watch. I was glad to be a part of it.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
We don't endorse bullying. But.
No, not at all. We also had a one of those games that has a giant screen where you and I sat on top of these motorcycles and rode motorcycles on an awesome.
I've been on that racing kick, the racing game kick, and so as soon as I saw that at the arcade, I'm like, JJ, we have to race.
And you know what? We are going to go ahead and post that photo on our Facebook page, and I guess on our gram.
Yeah. Definitely on the gram.
Yeah, we're going to put it on the
Close
gram.
Enough.
You know what I'm talking about. We put a photo of the 2 of us together riding these motorcycles, and I'll tell you what, it sure looked like the wind was going through my hair, of my back.
Yeah. So my mom had a really funny comment because Trudy sent it to her. She was like, "Oh, it's so funny."
Wait, that's not how your mom talks. How does your mom talk, Garrett?
I can't do it. I can't do the voice.
Oh, Trudy. And it's because she's up to 2.5 packs a day? No, wait. I heard she cut down, though, to 2. Good for her.
Yeah, she's.
Hi, Mrs. Morlang.
Cancer free.
I don't know how she does it.
No, she made some comment though. She's like, "Oh, look, that's so funny. You can really tell their height difference because in the photo, we're both at the same angle on the motorcycle, like leaning forward. Your arms are all the way outstretched as far as you can go, and I'm like this." And we're still like we're still upright at the same angle, and like the motorcycle's so tiny for me, and for you, you're just like sprawled out trying to reach those handlebars.
Thanks for making me feel that.
She thought that was pretty funny.
I didn't. Funny, Mrs. Morlang. Thank you for the shame of my height. No, that's totally cool. You know what's funny is actually Garrett and I posed for a couple of photos together because we have our Super Gamer Boy shirts that we had Star Andrews put together
last winter. Yeah,
and so I forget. Talking and working with my brother every day, I forget how tall he is. I'm a short dude. I'm 5 foot 5 inches tall. And so.
Yeah, right.
What? So that's what it says on my license. Like legit. It
you
says
can tell them whatever you want. I just renewed my license a couple months ago and they're like, how tall are you? I'm like, I don't know. I just told them some random height. You can tell them whatever the heck you want. They don't check it. Trust me.
Thank God they haven't. Because I've been living a lie for the last 25 years of driving.
Jeez.
I'm not really quite 5'5". Yeah. Let's just go ahead and be honest.
Well, I just wanted to mention because I asked you how your week was.
Yeah.
My week, I don't think your week's been near as good as mine because in the last 2 days, I've had tri-tip 3 times.
Whoa.
So my week's been pretty dang good.
Are you staying with friends right now?
No.
Is it your birthday week?
Oh,
it's your birthday week.
No, not my birthday week. That was in October.
Oh.
So last night we were at a dinner and they provided tri-tip for the meal. And then we got to take home leftovers.
Nice.
And today I went home for lunch, had some more tri-tip. And then for dinner, Trudy was like, I'm not feeling great. Let's just have leftovers. So I had some more tri-tip.
Man,
So
you make
let's just
your life
say-
sound so hard.
Let's just say I'm living the life out
Right?
here. At least until that tri-tip's gone, then it's going all downhill from there. But yeah, no, she's been not feeling as great lately because, I told you guys the other night, but we're expecting Morling baby number 2, so that's pretty dang crazy. So
Yep. Isn't that awesome?
It's really happening. We're having another baby, so
Congrats to you once
we'll
again.
see how much
Yeah,
longer
that's-
this podcast lasts after that.
Right?
I think you asked us, you're like, how are you going to do podcast stuff after the new baby comes? And I just, is that going to change things?
And he laughed like,
at the same exact time, Trudy goes, kind of is like, yep. And and I go, oh no, I'm not going to change a thing. Like at the same time, we both had completely opposite responses. And then we
Right.
looked at each other and you're like, oh no, you're sleeping in the doghouse tonight, huh?
and you know what this tells me, Garrett, because I am somewhat of a sleuth. I've got a little bit of that Sherlock Holmes blood in me. Legitimately. I really think that I'm like related to Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know if he's a fictional character or not, but I might be related to him. So I'm thinking maybe you are not watching as much Disney Plus as you said you are, because obviously you've got other time on your hands to be able to, procreate some more babies and stuff like that.
It doesn't take that much time. So,
And on that note, do you know that I want to support that joke as bad as I would love for some of you folks out there to help us out and support us on Patreon?
shout out to our Patreon sponsors, Bill Bird and Julie Bates.
Grammy.
Yeah,
Don't forget to give her that name, because she's not only this man's grandmother, she's also a Grammy to an entire nation.
that she is. They decided to go over to patreon.com/supergamerboys. They support us at that sponsor level. They get a shout out on the show, and we're so thankful for that. So thank you guys. And if anyone else is interested, plenty of free spots.
Oh, there's
Let me
lots
tell
of
you that.
room.
Lots of room. Plenty of room.
Mm-hmm.
No, there's no, for as little, what's that? There's that one commercial. Whenever
as little as it's 63 cents a day.
Whenever we start talking about Patreon, I think of like the
Christian
animal.
Children's Fund?
No, the one for the animals. Yeah, it's like
Christian
a really sad.
Animals Fund?
No, not that one either.
Pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that's
It's
the
all in
one.
black and white, and like all the dogs looking really sad and stuff. And I feel like there's what's the song playing in the background? Same song every time. Doesn't matter. Just imagine JJ crying. Like it's all black and white right now. Just a single tear rolling down his cheek, and some sad music playing. And
you.
for as little as 23 cents a day, you can support us.
Happy as we can be with a great big hug.
That's not a sad song.
That's
you're singing it.
very sad when you sing it like
You're
that.
singing it in
It's
a sad
the Barney
voice.
song, and it's sad that a grown man had to put a purple dinosaur costume on and do that.
I guess
I don't
so.
know. It's a Santa. I don't think Barney ever ho-ho-hoed.
What do you say we get into some news?
It is time. Is it time? Oh, it's time for the nerdy news.
Alrighty, so we have. Last week was one of those weeks where there was nothing. Like I think he even wrote that up, in the description, like, another slow news week, whatever, nothing going on.
You know what?
And
I
then-
told Garrett, watch tomorrow, Tuesday, the day after we record. It's going to blow up with lots of news. And he said, nay, JJ, I don't want to hear this stuff. Never going to happen. And then what happened, Garrett? Tuesday came and went, boom.
That's exactly what happened. We got so much news. Not a
Soothsayer.
ton of news.
Soothsayer, I've been saying this. You never listen. You always tell me, shut up, JJ, and stop having rants on air.
It wasn't a ton of news, but it was kind of big news. So there was some big news that happened.
Some would say a ton because it feels weighty.
So we're actually going to talk about some of that today because for us, for our schedule.
That's when we do the podcast.
Yeah, for our schedule,
Right.
the way our calendar works out, that's our last week. So you're still going to hear about it. It's just a week late. And unfortunately, it's going to happen this week as well because one of our news stories here, let's just jump ahead a little bit. Tomorrow, as a recording, which will be yesterday when you guys get this, there's supposed to be a PlayStation State of Play. So unfortunately, we don't get to talk about all the cool new game announcements that are going to happen because we don't have time to record on Tuesdays. That's the reason we do it Mondays because Tuesdays just don't work for us. So sorry, guys. You'll have to wait until next week to hear yesterday's news. But yeah, so that's the news story. State of Play is going to be happening Tuesday, December 10th at 6 a.m. Pacific time, 9 a.m. Eastern time. You can watch it live on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. So here's the official, word from PlayStation. Sid Schumann, Senior Director, Content Communications at Sony. We've got around 20 minutes of new gameplay reveals. So a new game, or new games. This is new game reveals, plural. Release date announcements. So some games that are already announced are going to get release dates, hopefully. New gameplay footage. And then PlayStation Worldwide Studios updates and more. And it probably bears repeating, don't expect any updates related to our next gen. So there's not going to be anything about PlayStation 5. Right off the bat, what this tells me, and obviously you guys already know what happened, so just bear with us here for a second. I think there's got to be Resident Evil 3 news because there's those rumors a couple weeks ago. And there's even another rumor, or not even a rumor, a leak. So there's a rumor like a week or two ago that we talked about. And then there's a leak that happened like a couple days after that where cover art for the game was actually found on the PlayStation Network, like a Japanese store or something, like in the background somewhere. Someone like hacked in and found it. So I feel like Resident Evil 3 has to be there. And then as far as the Worldwide Studios update, I know you're probably going to have something to say. Oh, it's probably Last of Us 2, blah, blah, something like that.
Well, you just took everything out of my starch, man. Now I got nothing left. What am I going to say? Because the only thing I would say, no matter what you say right now, is it's going to be about Last of Us 2. And then you just...
No. But that's the thing. I don't think it's that. So you can still talk about that. I think it's Ghost of Tsushima. That is a game we have only seen one gameplay trailer from like last E3, like of 2018, I think it was, or maybe even I don't know. It's been a long time since we've heard or seen anything from that. That was a game that was supposed to come out like spring of summer of next year, but because Last of Us 2 got delayed, it postponed it. I think we hear something about that. But I don't know. What do you think? I
would love to see that. I think that you're probably accurate. It's probably something about that.
If it was Last of Us 2, what do you think they would share? Because I know that's what JJ would like to see. You would like to see something about Last of Us 2, I'm sure.
They've already announced when it's coming out. If anything, they'll give a definitive date.
Well, we got the definitive date for Last of Us.
I thought they just got the month.
No, there's a date.
Okay. Unfortunately, I was wrong for the first time in this show's history. I was wrong, and I'm man enough and much, much bigger of a man in every way to Garrett to be able to say that I was wrong for once in my entire life.
March 29th, 2020.
Okay.
Actually, May 29th. Again. I can't even talk right. May 29th.
And again, he was wrong. Did you see how that...
No, I just was reading. There's another date. For some reason, I'd searched Last of Us Part 2 release date, and underneath it, it says people also search for it, and it has other games. So,
and this was the change up just recently when there was a big reveal. It was going to come out in February.
Yeah.
And then they pushed it forward inexplicably out of nowhere. They kind of tried to quietly say, it's going to come out in May now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they did explain why. They said they just felt like it didn't quite have enough polish and stuff. But so do you think we get any more gameplay from them on things, or do you think they're just heads down working on the game and we won't hear anything else?
I don't think there's anything else to share. The last that we saw of The Last of Us 2, they gave us a lot of stuff. So I don't think they can really add too much more to the story and stuff like that. I think that they're good where they're at with that. Just keep your nose on the grindstone. I want to see it come out in May. No excuses. That'll be an awesome, that's all I'm going to do all summer is that game.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, sounded good.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think Ghost of Tsushima, whether it's more gameplay or maybe even like a story trailer, because we haven't even gotten, I don't think we've gotten a story trailer. We don't know what the story will be. So I think some sort of like story trailer to help.
No, it was very vague. The trailer that came out was very vague, but it looks amazing.
Yeah. So I think something that kind of gives us, like kind of sets the tone for the game, the setting, maybe a little more of the world, what characters, like maybe even the name of the character or something. Again, it was so long ago that we saw any of that stuff. I'm trying to remember what we already know about it. I feel like it's not much though. So maybe that'll be it. Resident Evil 3, I think, will definitely be in there.
Oh, I hope so.
And
I hope they keep to the way that they did 2. You know, as far as that graphic style and that.
Oh no, that's the only reason that game is coming out so quickly is because they're using stuff from Resident Evil 2. There's no way they could turn around and make a game that quickly unless they were using art assets in the same game engine as they'd used for 2. Mm-hmm. So it's gonna look amazing, that's for sure.
Awesome.
So yeah, that's happening yesterday for you guys. So if you haven't seen it, you can probably go to YouTube and just do a search for PlayStation's official YouTube page, and you can watch it over there. Okay.
I am so sorry, guys. I am allergic to Garrett. He sometimes smells like cheese for no reason, and I have a deep allergy in my sinuses from cheese.
Yeah, right.
Wisconsin cheese specifically, because it's of lesser quality. So whenever that is around me, I have a mild
You're right.
response.
It is a lesser quality. No one likes Wisconsin cheese.
Oh, it's the New York thing.
The New York,
right?
Vermont cheese.
Oh, Vermont now is getting the. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same. Vermont, New York.
Is it?
It's all the same. So the next news story is there's a big Mario Maker 2 update out now. So last week the news was that it's coming out. Now that it's been a week, it's already out. People have been able to play it. But what the update brought, which this is crazy. Like, I was super stoked when I heard this news because this was a game that I was so excited for. Loved it, played a ton of it. I've actually almost beat it. There's like over 100 levels in the game, and I'm on level like 80 or 90 something. So I'm like almost done with it.
Why is every story, when you go to tell me any story about how you're playing a game, why does every story at some point have I almost beat it? Why does every story, dude? Look, remember that word that I just used a second ago when I said every? Like every story says, I almost beat it. Why did none of them ever say I beat that game? They're always like,
So here,
okay.
You wanna
getting hurt. Oh! The sleeves are coming. Oh no! Here we go.
So here's the deal.
Big guns coming out.
You're all sorts of talk over here.
Me?
All sorts of talk.
Okay.
But how many games in the past year have you beat? That's what I want to know.
None.
I think
none.
And to be honest,
not one.
Your track record is so small in the amount of games that you beat. That's the thing.
Whoa.
Let me finish.
Okay.
There's so many more games that you haven't beat than you've beat. I'm starting to think maybe those games you said you beat, you didn't actually beat.
Oh no!
Have you lied to us?
I've never lied about that. I've never lied about that. Now I've lied about quite a few other things, but if I told you I beat it, I beat it.
JJ.
I've beaten a handful of games. All of them on more than easy. Maybe they were on easy.
I don't know. I'm starting to second guess things. Plus, the other day I saw him actually play a video game. I'm like, oh boy, he's real bad. How did he beat those games?
Wait. You saw me play Death Stranding, and that game is super difficult to transverse, or however you want to say it.
Transverse.
Whatever. Traverse. There you go. You can't barely walk with that darn thing, man. And the controllers, you got a jacked up X button on your controller, your PS4.
You don't even have to use the X
DualShock
button to play Death Stranding. So
I think I kept using it. Maybe that was the problem.
That's my hypothesis. I was like, JJ's so bad at games. I don't believe he's actually ever beat a game. I don't think it's possible. I mean, the only reason it'd be possible is the whole idea where they say if you put a million monkeys in a room with a bunch of typewriters and
oh my gosh!
maybe one of them will type a word or something. That's JJ playing video games. It's a 1 in a million chance that he bangs out on the controller.
That is so amazing because that's the second time this week somebody has described a million monkeys and me in the same sentence. That's so unusual. I'm kind of getting the impression when somebody else says, JJ, that would be like a million monkeys. Wow. Okay. Yeah. I stand corrected. I probably didn't even beat those games.
So if he beat them, it's only by a miracle of God that he beat them, really.
That sounds pretty accurate, actually.
Anyways, let's get into this actual news story here. Okay. So yeah, they released a 2.0 update. What I was saying, though, is that game came out. It was an amazing game, lots of fun, had a lot of fun building maps, playing other people's maps, playing the pre-made levels, and then, like, Nintendo didn't talk about it. Like, it was just quiet. Like, the game came out and was gone like a fart. Just quick.
Hey, if
silent.
you do it right, it's not gone right away.
Just like...
I'm just saying.
Like, there was just nothing to it. It was just empty, hollow...
Again,
the game.
Why
the
would
game.
you be
I'm
talking
not,
about a fart that's
not.
empty and hollow? You want something that's heady and full.
I'm not talking about. I'm talking about the game now.
Okay.
Like there's just like no follow up. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
See, and again,
JJ, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the game. You know, I'm talking about the game. Focus here. We're 26 minutes in, and we're only on news story 2 here. So. You like that?
You gotta stay on track, son.
I guess sometimes I just gotta crack down. Crack down. But yeah, there's nothing. Like they didn't. It's not that there just wasn't updates. They literally didn't talk about it. Like nothing. It was as if the game didn't even come out. And so for this to come out is huge. Like this is amazing. This is awesome. This is what people have been waiting for and wanting because people love this game and you didn't hear anything about it. It's similar to last year. Yeah, Mario Party came out last year. I think it was. And that's a game, people played it, loved it, and they are anticipating having all these new maps to play on, new characters added. People were willing to pay money. They're just like, I'll pay whatever amount of money I need to get a season pass for this game to get all the new DLC updates and stuff. And then nothing. That game's over a year old, and there hasn't been anything new added to Mario Party. And so when this came out, the same thing happened, and people are like, oh no, like they just forgot about Mario Maker. Like that's so sad because this is like the first one was such a beloved game on the Wii U. Anyways, so version 2.0 came out. People were so excited, and it added the following here. There is now a Master Sword power up. When Mario picks up the Master Sword power up, he transforms into the I don't know. I never know how to pronounce this word. Hylian? Because Link is from Hyrule.
Okay, where would that be in my pages? Because I've already been looking through my notes for the show. I have a Bachelor of Arts in pronouncing words that Garrett can't pronounce.
There, try to pronounce that one.
Seriously? You can't say that word?
What is it?
I don't think we could say that word on air. Because I believe in that country, that's a swear. Hylian.
Is it Hylian or Hylian?
Hylian. It's Hylian. I've heard it before.
Okay. If you say
Google it. Google it.
Because I could see a Hylian.
Hylian. Google it.
Hylian.
Nope.
It could be anything. No way to know. Anyways, he transforms into Link. That's what we're trying to say. He turns into Link, which is awesome. Like, so in a Mario game, you get to play as Link. You get to use his sword, his shield, his bombs, his bow and arrow. You can use all sorts of skills, which opens up so many new gameplay elements. Like, because it's all Mario Maker levels, but you get to play, use all these weapons and stuff that Mario doesn't normally have, so which is kind of cool. Additionally, Nintendo has introduced a handful of new enemies in course parts with the version, including the cactus-like Pokey and Spike. The latter normally hurls spiked balls, but if you place one in a snow level, it will throw snowballs instead. On top of that, new P blocks and visible blocks that are temporarily activated when you hit a P switch. They've also added frozen coins to the game, and they can be thawed out when hit with fire by Fire Flower.
So are you going for the update?
Finally, update adds a dash block for Super Mario 3D World gameplay style. And there's a new Ninja speedrunner mode. So, yes, update actually came out on the 5th, and I downloaded it. I didn't get a chance to play it yet, but I'm really excited. I especially want to play some Link levels. So this update has me really excited because, I don't know, like, Mario levels are already fun enough. It's like, to throw, like, Link in there? I don't know, I'm pretty stoked.
What? I'll tell you what. I'll go buy a Switch, and I'll go buy this game if, and only if, we can go ahead and instead of having Link as a character that's playable in this game, I would like to play it as Chuck Norris. Dude, Chuck Norris, in that role, he's amazing.
As Mario?
Yeah. He just beats the heck out of everybody. Yeah, he's Chuck Norris. We make that happen. We've got some pull. We got some stroke now that the podcast is on YouTube.
I don't think you know how video games work, JJ.
Pretty sure. I don't think you know how video games work, dude. I'm a dreamer.
Okay.
I believe in this.
But yeah, so this is a super awesome update. If you have the game, go download it. Most likely it's automatically downloaded, but go play it. If you haven't played it in a while, go check it out because this sounds freaking awesome. So it was just kind of a big deal, huge update for a game that people thought was dead. Here it is.
Tell me that you locked your Switch down so my son can't play that. Because I wouldn't want to.
No, that's actually when I was telling him earlier. I was telling him to play that. I was like, "Hey."
Oh, you were saying go ahead and play.
Wink, wink. Play Mario Maker 2. Wink, wink.
Oh, okay.
So then your dad has to buy it for you. Wink, wink.
I need you to relax on all that dad buying stuff. Okay.
Hey, you're just full of the cash.
Yeah, that's what he thinks right now. He's like, okay, look, Dad, I was playing Mario Odyssey on there. Amazing. You also think me Fortnite, Dad. I'm going to probably want some V-Bucks so I can get some skins. And then as well as, there was another game that he had on there. You know what? Can you call Garrett right now and ask him what game it was that I played on there? And I'm like, hey, dude, hey. He doesn't talk like that, by the way. He's going to get so mad. Where I'm like, hey, I'm not calling him. It's 11 o'clock at night. And he's like, Dad, but he's probably up. I'm like, well, he probably is up. It's like I'm in bed by 9, like an old guy.
Sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. The other night I stayed up until 1 o'clock playing Death Stranding. Other nights I'm in bed at 8:30. You never know with me. It's a grab bag, you know?
So you got to question this. You wonder, is he coming home, sitting down immediately and playing from that point on like a monster? Or is he waiting until his son goes to bed and the wife is like, okay, you could do whatever you want. You're released or free to do whatever you like. And it's midnight and then he gets to play for an hour and a half. Because that's my kind of playtime too.
That's the actual...
Yeah.
That's what life's actually like. I come home and it's not a controller my wife's handing me. It's our son. And
Did you like how I played with Trudy about that when we were at our company Christmas party? I started teasing about how wonderful she was, that she just lets him play all the time. And she's looking at me like I'm crazy. My wife was looking at me like I'm crazy.
I know. You kept going and I'm just like, JJ...
You better stop.
I not only... It was one of those things where I don't want your wife to hate me. Here you are, or hate my wife.
Don't worry, she already does.
Okay,
no, I'm just kidding.
No. I was just you're just talking about how amazing Judy is. I'm just your wife's right there. Your wife is awesome too. You don't have to
awesome. I say it only because I've said it here on the show about her letting you play, and I just figured it'd be funny. But then I was like, I might have just kept it going a little too far. I probably needed to dial that stuff back a little bit. That thought. The dialing back thing, that doesn't happen for me very often.
Yeah.
I always think how much further could I have gone? How much further could I have gone?
And usually it's, I went too far.
Sometimes.
That's usually how
I went too far on that one.
The next news story here, I'm just trying to get through these because we got a lot of them. Like I said, there was stuff that came out last week, and then this week there's been quite a bit of stuff. Another major thing we missed last Tuesday. But you know what? There's no way to know. There's no way we ever could have known. Because, you know what? Apparently the internet doesn't exist or something. No, I didn't realize this was happening because PlayStation didn't talk about it until the day of, and I didn't think to Google it because it's a weird thing to Google. But last Tuesday, December 3rd, was PlayStation's 25th anniversary. That's kind of a huge milestone, and we just totally missed it. Everyone else, I listened to a Kind of Funny podcast. I listened to, part of our podcast network, the HP podcast. All these other podcasts, IGN, everyone's talking about their favorite games and from the PlayStation history is the 25th anniversary. I'm like, oh shoot, we screwed up bad. We really screwed up. We should have talked about that. But they honestly, as far as I know, because I follow them on Twitter, they didn't post anything about it until the day of. And I'm like, oh, this is the day after we've already recorded and we don't have time to record Tuesday night. So here it is. Last week, PlayStation's 25th anniversary. So the 25 years since PlayStation 1 came out on December 3rd. 1994, pretty crazy.
Do you want to get the hat on?
No. It's their anniversary, not their birthday.
Oh,
it's different. But yeah, there it is. We have the PlayStation 1 right up
different? I feel like it's kind of the same. I think you should wear a birthday hat on
you
an
don't
anniversary.
you don't say like, oh, we've been married for 5 years. It's our 5th birthday.
I do too. You don't know me. Don't judge me.
Okay.
I wear a birthday hat and a birthday suit.
I don't care what you
I'll be like,
wear.
happy anniversary.
I don't care what you wear. It's what you say though. You don't say it's our 5th birthday.
I do sometimes say that.
Definitely not. But no. So I thought it'd be kind of
cool.
cool.
Then I say, take me to school. That's what I say.
Okay.
No, I never say that either.
Good. Don't ever say that. I thought it'd be cool if we shared some of our favorite games through the generations.
Oh, sweet.
So, starting from PlayStation 1, what was a couple games that you liked on the PS1?
On the PlayStation 1, there was a couple of games that I really got down on. This was my high school years. So I had buddies who had PlayStation. I didn't. My little brother got one a little later, and then eventually he got a PS2. So on the PlayStation, I loved WrestleMania, the arcade game. It was a lot of fun. And you know what? I've never liked any wrestling game since. But WrestleMania, the arcade game was a whole lot of fun. Just a personal favorite that I played a whole lot in high school. Another game that was really, really great. You got to put this on any list when it comes to PlayStation original games. Resident Evil, the original Resident Evil was absolutely incredible.
So you would think the original one, though, is better than the second one?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. The story and everything else was better from PS2.
No. The second one and the third one were on PS1.
I'm sorry. I mean on number 2 on the game, Resident Evil 2. But for the originality and the uniqueness, Resident Evil, the original, was unlike anything else that we had played up until then. It was absolutely mind-boggling at the time when we got that game. Because you think, from my perspective, playing like a 16-bit platformer, you know, and then jumping into something like that, it's a big, big difference.
Yeah.
Much more realistic and scary, and the use of zombies and everything else. Yeah, of course, it got a whole lot better, and, you know, to the point where we just saw Resident Evil 2 was absolutely amazing. But Resident Evil 1, for that reason, stands out to me as one of those, you know, tentpole moments in video games with PlayStation's 25-year history. PlayStation 2 had so many games. Some people consider it the best console of all time. I would say a game that jumps out at me as a personal favorite are Evil Dead, Fistful of Boomstick. It was a fun game.
Is that on PS1?
It's a PlayStation 2 game.
Oh,
and I
you've jumped to PlayStation. Yeah, I mean, let me talk about PlayStation 1 yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I thought it was all me and then all you, but no.
Go ahead, you just do your thing. I'll sit over here and drink my water.
And then from there, I don't have any PS3 experience whatsoever. And then I jumped forward got into video gaming, playing Uncharted and stuff a couple of years ago. But I think that on the top of the list as one of the greatest games of all time, possibly the greatest, The Last of Us, the original that came out in PS3. Of course, I played it on the remastered PS4 version. I still believe it's one of the greatest games that we've ever had.
Uncharted 1, 2, and 3 all were PS3 games, technically.
Right.
So really, you have played PS3 games.
Yeah,
and The Last of Us is a PS3 game.
Right. I said that with Last of Us.
So really, all of your favorite PS4 games are technically PS3 games. So really, you haven't really played any good PS4 games.
That's not true. God of War, Red Dead Redemption 2, which is amazing in every way. Spider-Man. Right now I'm playing Fallen Order. That's, you know, I mean, so I've played some new and
how many of those have you beaten?
Thank you very much. Next segment.
Can I talk about my games now?
Please.
Okay. So obviously, I'm going to talk about
Metal Gear
Crash
Scarlett.
Bandicoot.
Oh, okay.
For me, I love the Crash Bandicoot series. I think the third one was the best. That was my favorite one. Crash 3 Warped. Such a good game. Metal Gear Solid, yeah, of course. That was going to be my obvious one, but I thought I'd trick you guys there. The Crash Bandicoot.
Crash stuff, yeah.
But Metal Gear
the Crash
Solid
thing
so
comes
good.
from you because of how old you were when you played it. I think that's why it stands out so much for you. That you played it as a kid, so it was a kid-friendly game. That's probably why it's so resonant with you now, so many years later. Because I'm like, okay, it's a platformer. It's not, to me, it's not special.
I don't know. I mean, I have some other friends who were older though, and they played it and they loved it. It's one of their favorite games too.
They were lame too, Garrett.
Okay, that's what you were getting at. You just had to say that. You didn't have to say it because I was young. You could
No,
have
I was
said 'cause
beating around
lame.
the bush.
But no, like, yeah, Crash Bandicoot's great. Metal Gear Solid is obviously like my game of all time. Like, that'll always be my game of all time. No matter what, like, that's such an amazing game. Siphon Filter's another shout out. I just made a little list here. Ace Combat, man, I remember my dad and my uncle would get together and stay up late, play video games. I think that's something we talked about like episode 1 or 2 of our podcast. Like, that was one of the stories. I would stay up late while I was playing Resident Evil. I would sneak out and watch him play and stuff. Well, I'd also watch him play other games like Ace Combat. Like, it was a jet fighter game, and that was such a cool game. I loved playing that one. Flying around in these cool like fighter jets and shooting stuff down. PlayStation 1 had a lot of like really weird, just, I don't know, random little, I don't know how to say it. Like, well, there's like a lot of them, like the movie tie-in stuff. I mean, PS2 had more of that, but PS1 had a lot too. Like, I remember having like a Rugrats game, like based off the TV show and stuff, and just really stupid stuff.
All the timing of licensing out characters. Yeah.
Let's see. Gex was a good one on PS1. The Tomb Raider series.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
good.
Yes.
There's so many good PS1 games. Those ones all are, so amazing. PS2 for me, I don't know. PS2 had so many great games, and there's a lot of games on there. Like, they made so many games for PS2. But honestly, like, if someone's like, what's, name like your top 5 PS2 games, it's hard for me. Like, obviously the first one that pops in my head is like Metal Gear Solid 2. Like, that's what I'm going to say. But after that, like, it's really hard for me to be like, like, what else would I talk about? Like, maybe Gran Turismo. I think Gran Turismo 3 or 3 and 4, I think, were both on PS2. Those were great. But, like, there wasn't as many PS2 games that, like, grabbed me and stood out to me as much. There's a lot of great games. Like, I still enjoyed a lot of games on there, obviously. I had that console forever. It was my first console I bought. But, PS2, Guitar Hero. Dude, did you ever play Guitar Hero?
Never played any Guitar Hero or Rock Band or any of that stuff.
Dude, Guitar
I would have
Hero.
sucked at that anyway.
Guitar Hero 2 was the best. PS2, such a good game. The best soundtrack, like best track list and everything. So good. That we would spend days and days with my cousins, like, playing that game. Like, it started out, short little jaunts with Guitar Hero 2, and then by the time Rock Band came out for like PS3, that's when we were old enough too. I was like, okay, now we're gonna stay up for like 48 hours at a time and just play that for like 2 days straight.
They're all taking it very seriously. They're talking about, it's all about the music, man. We just gotta, we get serious about this thing.
No joke, man. No joke.
Take it on the road.
This is hardcore. We got hardcore. This is like legit, like real life drama, real life drugs, real life. No, just
right?
kidding. No, there's no drugs.
So I don't know where we started.
Dad.
Started with Rock Band. Pretty soon I was doing coke off of never mind.
Yeah, that's enough.
Off of a midget's bald head.
Jeez.
You're going to edit that out, aren't you?
We'll see. PS3. So this is a weird one because I only owned a PS3 for a couple years because I started out with 360. Huge mistake. Then after I went through 3 of those consoles, I then later in the generation switched over. Obviously, a lot of the games, a lot of the games are on both. But I know we're trying to talk about more first-party games. So I don't know, Metal Gear Solid 4 was great. Uncharted series was amazing. That's where I first played The Last of Us. So, man, yeah, there's just so many games. PlayStation's super special. If you can't tell, if you haven't listened to our podcast
we're Sony
before,
ponies.
Like, Sony is just so special.
But we missed the 25th anniversary somehow.
Yeah, it happens.
Somebody who's supposed to be paying attention to all forms of internet chatter, news sites about the PlayStation. This guy's supposed to know all, but he never says anything for some reason.
Yeah, it happens.
Hey, since we started off like that, you want to finish very strong? Like this for German, for the rest of show?
No, we're not doing that again. So yeah, if you haven't...
I'm living my best life ever.
Well, you try.
Yeah.
You try. So yeah, there we go. 25 years of PlayStation.
Well, happy birthday to you, PlayStation.
Go play your PlayStation and
wish them a happy birthday. That's what we say
while you're playing it. Just give it a good pat and maybe a kiss and say thank you, PlayStation. I don't know where I was going with that. Are you finished?
Yeah, you got it weird all of a sudden. I don't know what was happening. The allergies, man. I'm so allergic to your BS. Like every time you start with the, flapping the gums and stuff like that, I get
the
eyes get itchy and watery.
Okay. So here we go. This is comes from Nintendo Life. Ryan Craddock at Nintendo Life. Headline is, around 10 new games will be revealed at the Game Awards 2019.
Last of Us 3. No. Okay.
Well. So the Game Awards 2019, it says it's only a week away. Technically, it's tomorrow if you guys are listening to this. By the way, if you guys are listening to this or watching us on YouTube, thanks for watching. On Thursday, which is tomorrow when this comes out anyways, Thursday, December 12th at 5:30 p.m., we are going to stream the Game Awards and our reactions. So you'll be able to watch the Game Awards alongside us. We'll be in the bottom corner giving our little commentary and thoughts on everything. But you should really come check it out.
That's if there's not overtime being worked that day.
No,
right,
I talked to the boss and she blocked off my schedule at 3:30. So I'm out early.
Is that why mine said mandatory overtime?
So I'm out at 3:30.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right, I see. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
When she asked me why, I just said, I have a thing.
Does that count? Can you do that?
It worked this time. I don't know if it'll work next time, but it worked. It worked this time.
Yeah.
I was like, I just have a thing. But yeah, so I'm getting off work early so that way I can actually get to the studio in time and get everything set up. And I will be here. We'll see if JJ shows up late after he's done with all his overtime work. But yeah, so Jeff Keighley is a show creator and host, recently sat down for an AMA discussion on Reddit. Plenty of non-serious questions came flooding in, like, do you think you could beat Todd Howard in a fight?
What did he say?
I don't know.
I got to know the answer to that.
They don't have the answer here in the article, so you have to look it up on Reddit. But see, so here's what he said when asked about the number of reveals we can expect this year. We have a bunch of brand new games being announced at the show. I think there are around 10 new games and projects being revealed if you want to count the things that no one has heard about yet. Should Nintendo fans be excited then? Well, and the reason they talk about Nintendo is because it's a Nintendo news site. But it says, while we'd expect the majority of these reveals to be titles for other platforms, last year's awards did bring us the exciting reveal of Switch exclusives like Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. Even if that particular game isn't your exact cup of tea, it was certainly a surprise, and we'd love to see similarly intriguing games come out of this year's event. So, 10 new game reveals. I honestly don't know what they could be, but I can't wait. I'm so stoked. And I was reading another article where he's saying too, because there's been a lot of quote unquote rumors and leaks coming out of, this is going to be shown at the Game Awards. This is going to be shown at the Game Awards. Well, he did another interview and he was like, all those leaks and rumors that you've heard so far, none of them are true. Those are all rumors. They're all guesses. He's like, so far, nothing is leaked on our show. It would basically sound like a challenge to me. I'm like, oh, you're asking for someone on your staff to leak something now.
Right.
But he's like, yep, nothing's leaked so far. We're doing pretty good. It's like, oh, you still got a week to go, buddy.
So somebody asked if he could beat up Tom Howard.
Yeah.
Who is Tom Howard?
Todd Howard. Todd Howard is the head of Bethesda Game Studios.
Okay, who cares if he can beat up Tom Howard or Todd Howard? Look, all I care is, can he beat up Tom Arnold? If we can make that fight happen, I'm going to buy that pay-per-view.
Who's that?
Tom Arnold, the comedian that's got a big mouth and needs to get punched.
Don't know who that is.
He was married to Roseanne Barr for a little while in the 90s. Oh, when you were a zygote.
Zygote. Yeah, you're old.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm realizing that now with outdated references.
Yeah. So I'm super stoked. Maybe we'll get a new Batman game. Remember a couple months ago when Warner Brothers put out those random teasers and then never said a word about it since? Like they literally put out like a couple of teasers, like a little picture here, a little tweet there, and then they're just like radio silent. Do you think maybe they'll actually get a Batman, or do you think that's too good to be true?
No, I think that we very could well get a Batman.
I don't know. We'll see.
It wouldn't surprise me.
So tune in tomorrow, supergamerboys.com/Twitch. Watch live with us, get our reactions, and see all those game reveals. Watch live with me. And
overtime.
Hopefully,
making up for
JJ.
the fact that he got off early.
JJ keeps saying, I'll try to make it. Yeah, okay. I'll believe it when I see it,
I'm a captain of industry, some say.
Some say, yeah.
Well, I say. I'm trying to get people to say it.
Okay. Let's see. There's this one last news story that I just want to hit real quick because it's all technical and stuff. I know JJ doesn't care about it. And when JJ doesn't care about a story, he like purposely tries to tank the episode a little bit, where he just like starts acting all like about stuff. So
no, I don't act all but I am about stuff. I just am.
So I'm sorry we don't get to talk about all this cool stuff, you guys, but JJ's being a little butt monkey. So
that looks like a butt monkey. Yeah, you probably shouldn't do that on air or on the microphone. It's highly unprofessional.
Yeah, I wish you wouldn't do that right in the microphone. It makes it real hard, pretty much impossible to edit out. So You're welcome, guys. You get to listen to that. Inside the target specs of the next Xbox Project Scarlett. This comes from Windows Central. Microsoft is gearing up to reveal Xbox Scarlett in full in the near future, and we've finally got some credible information on the target specs. Microsoft is gearing up to reveal a two-pronged attack for the next-gen consoles, complete with a more affordable SKU dubbed Lockhart and a more beastly premium SKU codenamed Anaconda. We have no idea what the next-gen consoles will look like or be officially named when the time comes, but we do have a credible idea of what the specs these systems are targeting. So just to preface this, it was back in March or April when the discless Xbox One came out. Phil Spencer came out and said, when we were talking about Xboxes plural at E3 last year, this was what we were talking about. There's no more Xboxes. Like Xbox Scarlett, there's only going to be one. Well, apparently he lied because Jason Schreier, we didn't read the article, but Jason Schreier at Kotaku came out with an article saying, no, there are in fact two Xbox Scarletts. Phil Spencer's full of crap. And then again, these over at Windows Central, they have information about a Lockhart and an Anaconda. Those are the code names for the consoles that they're using. So there's going to be like a cheap model and then a more expensive model. I'm trying to find the information here real quick for you. So just to give you an idea of some of the specs, the Xbox One X, which is the current like most powerful console, 6 teraflops of computing power, whatever that means. It's supposed to be a lot. It's way more than PlayStation 4 Pro, way more than anything else out there. Well, the Anaconda, which is the more powerful one, is supposed to have 12 teraflops, which is 2 times the amount of computing power, basically. It's going to be 2 times more powerful just in this one area.
Isn't that the same as Stadia, though?
If Stadia worked.
That was a horrible jab, man.
It's true. Man, Stadia came out.
But I think they said 11.6.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, it's going to be like Stadia, but it'll actually work.
You might get like 2 people writing in and tell you like
that's fine. If you like Stadia, then prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Lockhart, conversely, will only be about 4 teraflops, so it's actually technically less than the Xbox One X currently. But what they say is that it says important to note, however, the teraflops doesn't really tell the entire story of the next-gen systems, owing to piles of custom tech Microsoft is planning to bake into these consoles. For example, Microsoft... Whoa, all the lights in the building just flickered.
It was because you said something bad about Microsoft.
That was weird. Are we still
we
recording?
Love you, Microsoft. If you're listening, Microsoft overlords, it's okay with us. You're safe to be you here. Okay, I think we're good. Go ahead.
Good, okay.
Yeah,
I just want to make sure we were still recording.
I was pretty sure I wanted to exercise whatever Microsoft demons were in here.
Right, okay.
So we're good.
For example, Microsoft already spoke about how ray tracing will be a factor in next-gen systems. And while Lockhart has less raw power than the X, it will have capabilities that elevate it further than the X in various ways. So even though it has less computing power in the teraflops, all the other technology as a whole will work so much better and more in sync and be more efficient and more powerful in other areas. It's still supposed to be more powerful and better graphically and all these different things than the Xbox One X. So that's what they're talking about. The Lockhart is going to be a little more budget friendly, cheaper for people like entry point, get into the Xbox ecosystem, where Anaconda is going to be big, beefy, all the power. It's going to be insane.
We powered 3 houses with the power from one Scarlett Anaconda. Are they going to call it Scarlett Anaconda?
I mean, that's the code name right now. We'll see what the actual name is. But yeah, so what do you think the price point will be on these bad boys? Because they say like one's going to be budget and one's going to be a little beefier, but it's like how do they get away with having 2 SKUs? How cheap can they go? How expensive can they go? Where's the happy medium in there?
I think you said 4 teraflops for the budget friendly model.
Yeah, but you don't know what that actually means.
No,
so
I don't know what that means, but it sounds not as impressive as 12. So, because I'm really good at math. So, you see how I did that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory.
Good one.
Yeah, you're welcome. No, so there's no telling. I would say it's going to be more expensive than what the price point is on an Xbox One X right now.
You think the budget one?
I think the budget one will probably be around $300.
Well, the budget.
Yeah, I think.
Okay, whoa. Do you know how much an X is?
No, is it 400?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it might even be more. I think it's 500. It's been on sale recently for like 3 or 4, but I think it's normally 5.
I thought it was like $399, somewhere in there. I thought I had seen that before. Okay.
I don't know. Let me you talk while I look.
Okay, I could actually see the budget model being somewhere around $300. I think that's a really cost-effective way to get those into people's hands. And then going high-end, $500 to even $600. I think that we could conceivably get a $600 console, and I think that will sell.
The One X is $500.
Is it $500?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy, right?
Okay, then I must have seen deals.
It's been on sale. Like I think it's on sale right now, so you can get it $150 off. But the base MSRP and what it is most of the year, except for right now during the holiday season, it's been $500 until I think right before Black Friday they dropped to like $150 off, which puts it to I can't do math. $350.
Yeah, $350. I would say watch for it to be around $600
for the Anaconda.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to go any higher than that. I could be wrong, but
I don't think they could.
Once you get anything in that range, why would you not just spend a few $100s more on getting a PC?
Yeah, because I mean, you could even get like a lower tier gaming PC for like you said, a couple $100s more. Like it wouldn't be quite as good as the Anaconda, but it would be definitely passable for playing games. That's for sure. Like, so yeah, I don't know. We'll see. $600 is a lot for a game console. But at the same time, it's one of those things. So it's this crazy thing because it's like for what's in it, it's not a lot of money. Consoles should be a lot more. Consoles should be easily like more than $1,000 for some of the technology that's in them. But they take a loss on them because they know they're going to make tons of money on the games and on the, with Xbox, all their programs. They have Xbox Live, they have Game Pass. They know they can make so much money off all of those that they take loss on consoles. PlayStation does it too. I think Nintendo's the only one that doesn't take a loss on their consoles, which is why they never go on sale.
Right.
And that's why Nintendo is rich out the wazoo. But yeah, I don't know. I think you're about right that between that 300 and 600 there, it just sounds crazy. Like $600 for a console. Yeah. I couldn't imagine, but we'll see. And there's a lot more tech specs. If you're interested, go over to Windows Central and look for that. There's a whole bunch of more specs that they had talk about with the new console, but I know JJ doesn't really care.
Well, you could always look on, we have a YouTube video in our scroll that you can end up going and checking out, and it's me describing all of the specs of the new Scarlett as well as also the PS5. So I break down exactly how they work and on what's...
Are you actually going to do this? Are we going to do this after the show here? Are you going to talk for 20 minutes about...
Who has 20 minutes to waste their time on that?
You can do a talking head, like zoom in on your face, and you just like stare at the camera and talk about like the specs of the console. You need to stop doing that right in the microphone.
I'll tell you what. Here's what we're going to do. I'm not feeling up to it tonight, but look for that. Those will be a couple of videos. We'll do a little video where we talk about... Hey,
it's not happening.
It's just your time editing it.
That's never going to happen.
Hey, dude, could you imagine me explaining how all the science behind that stuff works?
I'm fine with doing it. I just know there's no way I get your butt here to do it. That's the problem.
No, we do it on a night when we're doing the show. You know? Just cut it up. You're here all night anyway.
Yeah,
You're not,
that's true.
Doing all this editing and stuff. Well,
I am here.
While I'm sleeping at home like a baby.
Way too many late nights here. Yeah, so that's it for the news. Time for some new releases. So this week we have Alien Isolation is out on Switch. That's a really fun game. I had that on PS4.
It's a great game.
Love that game. That's a good one. Darksiders Genesis came out on Stadia and PC. There's a lot of controversy because it actually cost $10 more on Stadia. People weren't very happy about that. Not only was it $10 more, but then the Steam version was also discounted if you pre-ordered it.
Oh, wow.
So essentially it was like $15 or $20 price difference if you bought it on Stadia or Steam. So don't know what Google's doing over there, but not doing great. That's for sure. My friend Pedro just came out on Xbox One on December 5th. I'm trying to find. Usually I highlight these things and I prepare ahead of time, and I did not. Assassin's Creed Rebel Collection came out on Switch December 6th. There's not a lot going on here. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So go check those games out.
If you really care.
It's December. That's not a lot of stuff comes out this week.
No.
Or this month at all.
Yeah, traditionally, no. It's kind of quiet.
Yeah. What you been playing?
I have been playing Fallen Order, Star Wars Fallen Order, and that game has been great. I did get to a point where I have been stuck for the last few days. So I more or less rage quit and haven't been back to it in a few days. So I played Outlast 2 a few days ago and had a couple of hard days playing Outlast 2. That game is so much fun. I got it on the PS Plus deal last month.
Yeah, it's free.
Just barely played it. Been playing the last few days. I put my kid on it earlier. She's 16. She said, what games is good right now? Can I play, Dad? And I said, well, check out Outlast 2. So she played it, scared the crap out of her. She loves it. It's such a fun game. What's not to love about it? And I got to play a good little amount. My family's been so good about going, hey, you know what? Dad needs a little bit of game time. So what about you? What have you been playing this week?
I have been playing. I was trying to find. So this month's free games, I downloaded them. I didn't get to play them yet. Titanfall 2 was one of them, though. That's the same people who made Jedi Fallen Order and Apex Legends. So I really want to check that out. I heard a lot of good things. I heard it's an amazing campaign. But yeah, Titanfall 2, and then the other free game this month on PlayStation Plus is Monster Energy Supercross something Dirt Rider.
Like a dirt bike riding game.
Yeah,
I downloaded it. I have not played it yet.
It looks really bad.
The Titanfall I just had downloaded tonight. I haven't had a chance to check it out. But my future son-in-law actually told me about that yesterday. He honestly,
future son-in-law, huh?
Yeah. He calls
They're
me
engaged, or
more or less. So he tells me, he says, "Hey, sir," and I was like, "Yes, son. what is it? Feels so good. And I'm like, yeah, that feels good. Like when you call me sir. He said, hey, sir, I don't know if you know, but Titanfall is an amazing game on the PS Plus. And I was like, oh, really? So he put it over huge. It's just saying that it was a terrific game.
I've only ever heard amazing things about it. So
yeah, and of course I love Fallen Order with the Star Wars game. That game has been so colorful and fun. And so if they made it, I know it's probably a really great game.
Yeah. So what have I been playing? I have been playing Death Stranding. So I put in the other night. There was one night last week where I sat down around 9:30, 10 o'clock after my wife finally went to bed. And she went to bed early that night. And then I played until about 1:30 in the morning. Wow. It was a lot of game playing. But boy, was it good. That game, I feel like I just hit I just climbed over the next barrier kind of into the next area. Like I just unlocked a bunch of new cool stuff, new cool area, new vehicles, new weapons. I just got real guns. So I've mentioned a few times on the podcast, up until now, it's a very not violent game. Like you don't really fight things or shoot things. I mean, death is bad. If things die, essentially they turn into nuclear bombs and, they'll blow up half a state or something. Just because of the Death Stranding, what it does, all the supernatural stuff. Basically, it's a ticking time bomb. So you try not to kill people. But I just unlocked a handgun and an assault rifle and grenades. And right at first I was like, that's weird. Like, why would they give me that? It seems like such a weird thing to unlock. And then I moved on to the next mission. I walked up the ramp to head outside, and this big event, this big thing just happened. I don't want to talk about it or spoil it, but it's insane. It's crazy. I just met in person. I've seen him in flashbacks, but in person now in character, I've just met Mads Mikkelsen's character for the first time. And I'm just like, dude, this guy's nuts. It's so cool. I'm having so much fun. So, wow. And it all makes sense. I'm like, oh, that's why they gave me guns. It doesn't make sense for the world, but for where the story went next, I'm like, I kind of need it. I'm like, if I didn't have them, I'd be screwed. So, wow. So it's almost like they gave them to you just as because they had to. So it's kind of a weird story thing like that. It's like, oh, there's no reason for me to have these other than if I didn't, the game wouldn't progress kind of thing. But yeah. This game just gets better and better and better. I'm starting to collect more and more resources. I'm starting to build roads because for the longest time, in order to get from point A to point B, I'm having to hike mountains and scale cliffs and go down ladders and ropes and rivers, cross rivers, all this stuff. I've collected enough resources to where I can actually build roads now. And I'm able to use I can build a truck or I can use a motorcycle. And now I can just drive up and down these roads with these deliveries. And I can deliver it took me 20, 30 minutes before. I can get done 3 minutes. Drive down the road and drop it off somewhere. And it's just and the more I'm playing, collecting all this stuff, all these resources, I'm able to do this stuff. And it's so stinking cool. This game just does not get old. The gameplay loop for me is so fresh, so much fun. And like I said, I just got over that hump just the other night where it's oh shoot, this game is actually I don't know, just opened up so much with new That's weapons awesome. And new vehicles and a new area. And yeah, Death Stranding's so amazing.
And it came you what you would say the perfect time, where you kind of needed something new? Or were you already still just enjoying what you had?
I don't know. I was enjoying what I had. There's a lot of good games that have come out that I haven't beat. I've almost beat.
Here you go.
But honestly, this is a game that I didn't know I needed or wanted, but now that I'm playing it, I'm really loving it. And I've mentioned that before. This is a genre. It's not like any other game you've ever played before. People ask me, oh, can you explain it to me? And I'm like, no. They're like, well, just try. And I start describing it to them, and they're just like, that sounds horrible. It doesn't sound fun. That sounds stupid. It sounds weird. And I'm like, no. But yeah, it sounds crazy, but it's one of those games that you just got to play it. If you just hear about it, it sounds like I'm insane. It sounds like Hideo Kojima's insane. And I think that's why he didn't talk about it. Leading up all these these last few years since he announced it, he didn't talk about it because he'd sound like a madman. But then you play it and you're like, oh, I get it. Like, this makes sense. And it either just clicks with you or it doesn't. Like, I'm playing it. I'm like, I see why people would absolutely hate it. But for me, like, I'm like, oh, this makes sense why I love it. And yeah, this is a game. I keep saying, like, I need to beat Pokemon. I need to beat Pokemon. Because Pokemon came out like the week after. It's like, Death Stranding is way too good. I can't stop playing it. So that's what I've been playing. I was telling you earlier, or before we started recording, that I just got the Chromecast Ultra. So at this point, I have not really used it yet. And the update hasn't come out yet, but I'm really looking forward to playing some Google Stadia on there once that update comes out. Because we talked about it on a news story a couple weeks ago, but at launch, you could only play Google Stadia on the Chromecast with the one that came with the Founders Pack, basically. But starting, I guess in the next few weeks or months, they talked about putting out updates for this Chromecast to basically allow it to use Google Stadia. So I'm really banking on that, really excited for that because, I don't know. On one hand, like I'm not excited for Stadia, but it's like I want to see what all the fuss is about. Like I want to try this thing. So I can't wait till that update comes out just so I can try it. I want to try it.
I'm so sorry that I keep sneezing and having to blow my nose and stuff. I've got the worst allergy to your love of Hideo Kojima anything. So I don't know why it just causes my eyes to get all watery and sneezing and stuff. It makes no sense. Makes no sense. Do they have an Allertech or a Claritin that works on your BS?
No, they don't. Okay. Just gotta suffer.
I am suffering, let me tell you.
So yeah, that's something I'm excited to be playing soon. We'll see how long it takes for Google to get that update out. Right now, it just seems like a garbage truck on fire over there, but we'll see if they figure it out. Cool. Well, that is it for what you're playing. We have a question of the show here. So this comes from Dan James. I forget where he wrote in, if it was Twitter or Instagram. I think it might have been Instagram. Sorry, Dan, I don't remember. I think it was Instagram. He sent me a message. And he says, if we need... I wrote that. If we need it. This is his question. I need to write my notes so I understand what's going on better here. He says...
these are production notes, folks.
You just got a production note.
So professional.
Which is your favorite gaming snack? And which snack is a big no-no to eat during game time?
Okay, that's actually a really great question. Dan, thanks so much. Man, I really wish that I knew where you sent that in. That'd be so much.
It's Instagram. I told you.
So you think?
I'll look it up right now. It's Instagram. I know for sure it's Instagram.
You. No, that's a great question. My snack of choice was, and always will be pork rinds. I love pork rinds. And being on the keto diet, it's a great salty snack that I can have some and not feel horrible on. And I never have to kind of go crazy with it. On the same hand, I'm not allowed to eat bacon while I'm playing PlayStation because I get the grease all over the controllers.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Yeah.
Grease on the controllers is a big no-no.
It sucks.
That's why all your controllers... You always tell me about how you have all these issues with your controllers. Yeah, that's why. It's because you're always...
I love to cook bacon. So everything is coated in bacon in the house.
So here's the deal. It wasn't Instagram. It was Twitter. I was wrong.
There's another one.
But he did say keep up the awesome work and the YouTube videos. So he's a YouTube listener. So he gets all sorts.
Awesome.
He gets all sorts of awesome footage of you blowing your nose and sneezing on camera this week. So you're welcome, Dan.
You're welcome, Dan.
Only quality content for you.
Quality content for you, Dan.
For me, my favorite gaming snack, I don't know. Like something crunchy and munchy.
Dan, if you were thinking pork rinds right now, you'd be correct.
No, it's not that I don't like pork rinds. I just don't buy them. I don't know. Like I think a friend had them one time and I tried them and I'm like, oh yeah, these are good. But I don't think I've ever like purposely bought pork rinds.
Oh wow.
No, I'm more of a chip guy. I'll get like a bag of chips or something. We get like just, some they have the kettle chips, salt and pepper flavored kettle chips. Those are the best. But those are also a big no-no because your hands get so greasy from all the oil that they cook them in and the salt and pepper and stuff. It's so bad. So that's a big no-no. Another big no-no is there was some other snack that just recently I was eating. I was like, oh, shoot. I think it was some cheese. It was like cheddar cheese. So it was Chicago-style popcorn, which for those of you who don't know what Chicago-style popcorn is, or it's basically they mix cheddar and caramel into the same bag. So it's just cheddar popcorn and caramel popcorn, but they put it together in the same bag, and like the sweet and the salty is really good together. I was eating that and my hands were sticky from the caramel and it's covered in cheese dust. And I'm like, there's no way I'm playing right now. Like after that, like take a big handful, eat it. And I'm like, shoot, now what? Like, gotta go wash my hands. And I play a little bit more and I go take a big handful. Like, shoot, gotta go wash my hands again.
That's why you just sit there and eat it all with one hand and then go wash your hands and then play.
Yeah, I wish it was that easy.
It is that easy.
So yeah, well, that's all I got for us today.
That's all I have for us today, too. Garrett, it's been another incredible week because every week you always bring incredibleness.
Yeah, I know I do because I'm the only one who does anything around here.
You are pretty much the only one who does anything.
I just like throwing you under the bus. It's just so easy to do.
No, I know.
I hope you don't hate me for that.
I hate you for this.
Okay, well, that's fine. Thank you guys so much for listening. We're so thankful for all of you that download the show, that watch on YouTube. We wouldn't do it without you guys, and we really couldn't do it without you Patreon supporters over there. Patreon.com/SuperGamerBoys. You guys are awesome. Keep it up. And if you guys are interested in supporting us and getting shout outs on the show, or we even have our producer tier where you can pitch segments for the show, support us up there, and you can, get in contact with us, and we'll do whatever you want. Within reason.
Within reason. I mean, but again, we're open to, we can
We're
discuss
open to
it.
a lot more than you think we'd be
it.
open to.
You'd be surprised, money can buy a lot of stuff. So also you could support us by going and buying some merch.
SuperGamerBoys.com/store. I actually just saw today that someone bought a mug last week.
Sweet.
So one more mug sold.
Thank you for whomever that is out there.
Go
That's
get a mug
awesome.
with our sweet, get a mug. The mug with our mugs on it.
Right? It's weird drinking coffee from a mug that has my face on it. My son always goes, Dad, it's so weird. You got your face on a mug. Like, yeah, but we put it on there, son. It's not like I'm so famous that other people. I mean, I am famous. I am known all over the world on YouTube.
A little bit. You can rate and review us if you go over to Apple Podcasts. That would help us immensely. Leave a 5-star review, leave a written review. Then when people see that, they'll be like, oh, it's actually a good podcast. Because I do that a lot of times. I'll be, skimming through. I click on something, I'm like, oh, this looks interesting. It has 5 stars. Oh, but it only has 10 reviews. It's probably just his buddies or something. So if you watch this or listen to this, go over to Apple Podcasts and leave a review for us, because the more reviews, the higher we show up in iTunes, and the more people are, generally going to give us a shot. If it's more than just my mom and my grandma leaving reviews on there.
Although we do appreciate those reviews, Mrs. Morlang and Grammy.
Yeah.
Wait, did they need to review us if they haven't?
They did. They already did. They already did. If you would like to, during the week, you can find us over at supergamerboys.com, Twitter and Instagram at supergamerboys, Facebook.com/supergamerboys. I am on Twitter at GMorlang.
I am on Twitter at JJ Purdom.
We're also, go over to supergamerboys.com/Discord, DISCORD, and you can chit chat with us throughout the week. We talk about what we've been playing, what we've been watching, and then you guys can share what you're talking about. We can have some discussions, and it's a lot of fun over there.
There's been a lot of really cool discussions over there, so you guys can always jump in there and be a part of it.
Yeah. Thank you so much to 2-Star Andrews for our logo. Check her out on Instagram at Ground Floor Graphics and Facebook.com/Ground Floor Graphics.
Another one bites the dust. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been your pleasure once again. He's Garrett. I'm JJ. That's spelled J. We are the Super Gamer Boys.
And I'll catch you on Flippity Flop.